Hello everybody, Elman-Banyan here from Elman-Banyan.com, where we have hypnosis, etc. for you. Hey, guess what? I got a co-host again. I feel like I'm back in business, but not just any co-host. I have Meredith Locker, and she's got a gazillion different hypnosis questions that she's got, from the ones that you guys sent in by using the Ask Us button up there, and also by cruising through some of the internet forums and groups and stuff like that. But let me tell you more about Meredith. I tell you what, she came in today, and I haven't seen her like in about, 6-7 weeks, and she's just like this spark of light that fills up the room. So in addition to being very smart, I mean, she's got a master's degree. She's a former talk therapist, she's currently a master hypnotist, 5-path hypnotherapist, 7-path teacher, and dog lover. She also lights up a room like very few people can. How you doing, Meredith?
I'm doing so good, Cal. It's great to be back. I've missed you.
Hey, well, it's awful good to have you back.
Well, good. I want to make sure everybody knows who you are, because, they may have just stumbled over this podcast and may have no idea who Elman-Banyan is. And Cal is the one who treats me beautifully. That word just decided to come out of my mouth, so I'm just going to go with it. And he actually is the one who teaches and trains the best of the profession. He's the one that brought us 5-path, the one-on-one work I use with every single client. He brought us 7th path self-hypnosis. He's the author of a huge number of articles, many books. He's definitely keeping on, continuing to bring hypnosis to a whole new level every single day, and he deserves the utmost of respect. And today, we are going to share with you some new information that will help you to be a better hypnotist too. So thank you for joining us. We really appreciate every single one of you that joins us and watches these podcasts week in and week out. Cal?
Hey, I just want to say, if you are not a hypnotist, go away. Go. This is the insider scoop and information. If you're like somebody's clientele or something like that, and you're just checking up on your hypnotherapist to see if he or she really knows what they're doing because you've been Googling, all right? Go away. We don't want you to know too much. It's like magic. It's not the same if you know how the trick is done. What do you think about that, Meredith?
Yeah, I agree completely. Really, the conscious mind hasn't been getting you where you want to go in the first place, which is why you seek out a hypnotist who can work with the subconscious mind to get you where you want to go. And if you consciously know too much about what we're going to do with you, then you're going to kind of mess up our ability to appropriately work with the subconscious mind. So it's just a bad idea. It may be interesting, it may be fun, but this is really a space for hypnotists, people who want to be the top 1% of the profession. And if that's you, please stay and join and enjoy.
All right. Now that we've gotten rid of the outsiders, we're talking to the insiders. Hey, just got something hot in. In fact, I've been waiting to make this announcement, and it has about something that's going on today. This podcast gets posted June 8th. And on June 8th, tonight, 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern time, I'm going to be on a teleconference with Elsom Eldridge, and I'm going to have so much fun. I'm going to be giving stuff that hypnotists, real hypnotists, new or used, just kidding, new or experienced, can benefit from with clients the very next day. So I'm going to talk about that. To be in on that teleseminar tonight, you need to call. I have two ways you can do it. Live teleseminar with me and Elsom Eldridge, and one is by phone and one is by listening online. Now the phone is 321-354-6946, and we'll put it right down there, right below, so that in case you don't have a pen handy and you're walking around or something. That's 321-354-6946. And then once the automated electrical stuff asks you to enter a conference ID, the conference ID will be 1916 30, and then you follow it with the pound sign or the number sign, also known as a hashtag. Again, that's 191630. Now you can also participate online, and here's a little link, and of course we'll put another link right down below, and it's www.budurl.com/Banyan, BANYAN 2012. And once again, that's www.budurl.com, Banyan 2012. And on there, I'm going to talk about what it really truly takes to be a one percenter, a hypno one percenter, best of the best in the profession. And I'm going to talk about how you can use convincers to grow your practice. I'm going to talk about a secret way to build your skills faster that 99.99% of the trainers out there leave out. I'm going to talk about the 5 questions that you must ask your regressed client. Whether it's an SSE, an ISE, or an SPE, you need to ask these 5 questions. If you don't ask these 5 questions, you don't have the information you need from that event. And if you don't know what these 5 questions are, you'll just spend too much time in the event. I'm going to show the exact order that the most powerful techniques can be used in to get almost magical results, and I'll reveal how to confirm that you have the real cause of the problem when doing an age regression session, and how to go beyond merely neutralizing the cause of the problem. There's some schools of thought that go, oh, we just regress to cause and fix it. You can do more than that. You can go beyond just regress to cause and fix it. You can do much more than that. I'm going to talk about how you can take that kind of thinking to the next level. Reveal how to create hyper-suggestibility, how to make suggestions in hypnosis that will last a lifetime. Oh, gosh. I got a whole long list here. Just give you 1 or 2 more. I'm going to talk about the one and only insight-driven self-hypnosis program, and I'm going to tell you about the one problem that your clients can come in with that is hidden, that will totally screw up your plans to help your client if you don't know how to fix it. It confounds hypnotists, it confounds psychologists, and I'm going to talk about how you can fix that very easily. Okay, that's it. And I'm trying to get Meredith on there too. So she's going to check her schedule, and schedule permitting, she's going to be on that teleconference too. How you doing? All right, what's up next?
All right, well, we've got all kinds of great questions and situations and experiences to bring to the table to discuss so that people can learn. And first of all, I just want to thank everybody who's been watching and not only watching, but commenting and asking questions that come from the podcast, because that's really how we continue to grow and learn, when people are bold enough to ask the questions. And there's really no such thing as a bad question. Every single question allows for the solution. And if we don't ask the questions, we don't get the solutions, and then we don't become better hypnotists. So please do continue, and thank you for those of you who have been submitting questions and have been submitting feedback. There's been some beautiful feedback lately on calbanyan.com underneath each of the podcasts about different things that people have experienced as a result of the podcast. And it's just always so great for us to hear that, and for you to be able to share it, and for other people to be able to hear about it, because we really are a community, and us Five Pathers may be far apart, and us hypnotists in general may be far apart in the world, but it doesn't mean we can't come together and have the community. Right, Cal?
Absolutely. Gosh, you're bright.
Ah, yes. So here is a question. Are you ready to dig right in, Cal?
Yes, and I'm going to make one little comment from our pre-recording session. We need to get more of this kind of stuff in the colleges and universities. If you happen to be a professor of psychology or counseling or social work and would like to start getting this level of training into the college university, please call me, email me, whatever you do, calbanyan@hypnosiscenter.com, and I will work with you to try to get this advanced kind of hypnotherapy training into your curriculum. I want to help you. I don't care where you are. You could be South Africa. It could be the UK, Asia. I want to help you. That's my new goal. That's it. I've just decided that's If this was New Year's Day, it'd be my New Year's resolution. We got to get really good hypnosis training into the universities. Okay, I'm off my soapbox.
I love it. And you know what, Cal? If anybody can do it, it's you. That's for sure.
Let's do it. This should be a part of any psychology program, social work program, counseling program at the college or university level. And by golly, that's what I'm going to dedicate myself to.
Yeah. I mean, you and I both have masters in psychology. You have almost a doctorate. I mean, all but dissertation, right?
Right.
And, I think we really make more progress with what we know in 5-Path every single day than we ever did with any of the information we got from those degrees. And so, but to be able to marry the two together and to be able to create a legitimized forum to continue to unfold this information and unpack it and get better and have that collegial atmosphere to grow and foster further learning, I mean, it would be unbelievable. So exciting.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's do it. Well, Susan is a very bold person who is allowing us to make this the college for now. And she sent in a question for Cal. She said, "Hi, Cal. I've read your book, Hypnosis and Hypnotherapy, Pattern Scripts and Techniques, over and over, and I love it. But I have a question. During a session, I followed all of your rapid induction techniques, and my client appeared to be completely in somnambulism. So I went for the last one, which was to see and describe the doily on his lap, which I'll go ahead and say is a positive hallucination. He opened his eyes, looked at me as if I had 3 heads, and said, 'I don't see a thing.' He did not schedule another session with me, which made me feel terrible. Could you explain what happened? Obviously, he was not in this state, but I am not sure what I did wrong. Thanks again, Susan."
All right, Susan. Well, there's a lot of things that's going on here. First of all, there's 3 levels of somnambulism. There is a threshold of somnambulism, there's full somnambulism, and then there's profound somnambulism. The level we need to do age regression work, parts work, and other kinds of really deep hypnotherapeutic kinds of work is at least the threshold of somnambulism. Now, there's 4 stages of hypnosis according to the Harry Arons scale, and I slightly changed it to calling the 4th level the threshold of somnambulism, but there's hypnoidal, light, medium, and then threshold of somnambulism, full somnambulism, and profound somnambulism. Now, of course, you might notice out of those 6 levels, 3 of the levels have the word somnambulism. And there are tests for these different levels of somnambulism. For example, in the Elman-Banyan Induction, and you can just Google Elman-Banyan Induction, or you can go to hypnosis.org, and I've got a free video there. You guys who are regular watchers, you know that, on how to do the Elman-Banyan Induction. There is a built-in test for the threshold of somnambulism, and it is a covert test. Because if we do a test for a depth of hypnosis that our clients fail or could fail, you know what? They do exactly what your client did. They go away and they never come back. So you should never use overt testing, meaning test that's obvious to the client. They know if they pass or fail. Covert, only the hypnotist knows if they passed or fail. So when the losing the numbers part of the Elman-Banyan Induction is a covert test for somnambulism through the phenomenon of amnesia by suggestion. Now, there are, for level 5 and level 6, there are no covert tests. There's only overt tests that your client would know they fail. For example, level 5, there's a test for positive hallucinations, seeing things that aren't there, tasting things that aren't there, smelling things that aren't there, hearing things that aren't there, that kind of stuff. So an example, in my demonstration in the class, for the certification class, I will take one of the students, do a demonstration, do the induction, and take them to at least stage 4, because I have to demonstrate how easy that is to get, and we need stage 4 to work with our clients. We do not need stage 5, we do not need stage 6, only stage 4. Now, some people, when you're trying for stage 4, will just naturally go into stage 5 or 6, but we can't test for them, because if they fail the test, then they lose their confidence in themselves, they lose their confidence in hypnosis, and they lose their confidence in you, and they go away and they never come back. So, I do not teach to test clients for stage 5 and 6. Why? Because if they failed, they would know it, and we don't need to test for those levels anyway because we don't need them. Now, if we get them by accident, or just by luck, or just through repeated hypnosis, that's wonderful, because 5 and 6 are better than 4, because these are what? Levels of suggestibility. And of course, the more suggestible the client is, the better off the client is, because they more readily and more easily accept suggestions, and they tend to last longer. So Susan, where you went wrong was, just test for stage 4. Use a covert test like the losing the numbers, or the eyelid deepening fractionation technique covert test. You can do that. That's covered in the course also. So don't use tests that your clients know they will fail. I mean, that you know there's a possibility that your clients will fail. If they do, what happens is they go away and they never come back. Anything you want to add to that, Meredith?
I think you got most of it. I think that it's a common misperception when you pick up, you either take the class and you have the book with all these tests, and you have the pattern script book with all these tests. It's a common misperception that maybe you should use all of these tests, but it's really a great point of clarification to make sure people understand the difference between covert testing and overt testing and what to actually use. I mean, you could spend a lot of the client's time doing all of this testing and only break their confidence, like was the case in this situation. So just the bare minimum. And another big question that comes up a lot is, do you have to test each session? Right, Cal? That comes up a lot. Do you have to do it again? Do you have to do losing the numbers? Or I don't even know if you've talked about the fractionation deepening technique, which is another covert test for somnambulism. So either of these two things, I only do the very first session. And then I give the post-hypnotic suggestion for them to be able to go back into that depth or deeper again when I say the word sleep and drop their hand in the first session, so that I don't have to retest again each session unless I have some reason to believe that they may not be in somnambulism. Then I may go ahead and break out a covert test again, right, Cal?
I couldn't add to that. That's exactly right.
All right. Well, I think we answered a question.
Cool.
What do you think?
Hey, you got one we can squeeze in real quick?
Well, I think so. I've been kind of wanting you to talk a little bit about, and maybe this is too long, and you can tell me, we can put it off to another podcast, but I've changed because now I know. I've changed because now I feel. We use this in our process at different points, and I thought maybe you could talk a little bit about why, and a little bit about what that does, and a little bit about maybe when to use that when people, something people may not hear in class from you.
Yeah, I'm thinking let's save that for one of the first things we do in next podcast, because I could really go into that, and I think I can really make some lights go on.
Okay, sounds good.
Because I think I could spend 5 or 10 minutes on that.
Okay, sounds good. So most of my questions are going to take a significant amount of time. So I guess I'll ask you, what tests do you use? What's your process in a first session? People, I'm sure, are dying to hear that.
Okay, well, this is very simple. I typically will use an Elman-Banyan induction if I have any reason to think that I can't use an instant induction. Probably 90% of my or more of my sessions, I use the 8-word induction. Press on my hand, close your eyes, sleep. But the problem with that induction is it doesn't have a built-in test for somnambulism. So in the first session, I will do the Elman's losing the numbers pattern as I changed it around. And that's why it's called the Elman-Banyan Induction. Some changes I think I made to make it more effective and to modernize it a little bit. And then go right into eyelid catalepsy as an overt test, which is for a very, very light level of hypnosis, which I know they're going to pass if they just passed for a deep level of hypnosis. So that's the main ones that I use. If I've got someone that I'm working with like a psychosomatic illness, or I'm working with pain management, or I'm working with someone that knows a lot of people. They are a person who is an influencer. I'll also do the arm catalepsy test just because I want to give them a lot of stuff to talk about, because they're going to be out there talking anyway. So I want them to be able to say, wow, this guy's really great. He locked my eyelids down. He stuck my arm out in front of me like this, saying it was stiff and rigid like a bar of steel to try to lower it. I really tried to lower it and it wouldn't go down. This guy is great. So kind of a good for the client because they're double convinced. And when they're convinced, the session goes better. And it's good for me because it's a good practice building technique. All right, I got that we've been jabber-mouthing for 21 minutes.
We sure have. I'll go ahead and sign myself off, and then I'll let you do it. So thank you guys all so much for tuning in. I hope this clarified the issue of testing for many of you, and certainly if it raised more questions, if it was clear as mud, please send your questions to us. You can email them to me directly, meredith@yourpathhypnosis.com. You can certainly post them just down there in the feedback section on calbanyan.com. On our hypnospace.com, we have an Ask Cal group. You can go to Facebook, facebook.com/hypnosis, etc., etc. Geez, there's just a million ways for you to get this information to us, so please do. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for tuning in. This is Meredith Blocker signing off.
All right, thank you, Meredith. Boy, I can hardly wait to get into the next podcast, the next video. Hey, once again, reminder, 9 o'clock tonight Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. I'm going to be doing a teleseminar with Elsom Eldridge. We're going to give you all that kind of good information I talked about earlier. And right below, we've got all the information for dial-in or for listening and participating online. It's going to be great. And gosh, I hope Meredith can squeeze herself free to participate in that too. All right, this is Cal Banyan signing off.
This recording is the property of Cal Banyan and the Banyan Hypnosis Center for Training and Services, Incorporated. All rights reserved, for private use only, may not be duplicated without permission. For contact information, go to www.hypnosiscenter.com.